All right, so let's go. So the animals are the ultimate empaths. So what does this mean? We put an animal in an environment. Let's talk about first domesticated pets, domesticated animals. They come into their home environment, and what are they? They're the ultimate empaths. So they're feeling and sensing everything in their environment. Who is it that they're linked to in their environment? We're talking about pets. They're human. Now, why are they with that human? Because they have what we call a sacred contract. Right now, yes, their job is they're an empath, and they're mirroring what's going on in their household with their human. These are sacred contracts. And then you could definitely, you're absolutely right, you could take it to the next level and you could say animals have a certain kind of agreement based on their genetic, their species. So dogs are teaching about partnership and leadership. Cats tend to teach about interdimensional aspects, working with dark forces, clearing entities, shadow aspects. They also teach about courage, feline aspects. Anyway, all different animals have different agreements, contracts, and they do different things. Horses teach about freedom, liberation, trust, safety, security. All different animals have different agreements, yeah? But always the animal that you're linked to in your family, in your house, what I always say is that animal knows your secrets. They know everything about you that even you yourself don't know. Does this make sense? Because they're there to be of service to you. So, okay, so far all that makes sense, right? And animals typically, I say this all the time, not only are they the ultimate empaths, this is true, by the way, for wild animals. It's just that wild animals have a different role. So if we look at like whales and dolphins, what's their role? Does anyone know? I know you know. Not that I want to shut you up, you can say.
Well, they hold the powerful vibration from our star family members.
Yes, they do. And they also, on an earthly realm, they are clearing the waters, raising the vibration and the frequencies of the water. So part of their job is to actually elevate the frequency and the vibration of the water. Yeah? You use echolocation and high-pitched songs. Yeah.
Do you feel like there's any point where we might be serving the animals and not only them serving us?
I do think it's a two-way response. Two-way, yes. We are absolutely serving them as well. But I don't think it's a linear progression the way most humans think. In other words, many humans believe, not most, many, believe that an animal is working to become a human. And I find that in my experience as an animal communicator that's very rare, actually. That most animals have no desire to be humans. They're like these poor, not in pity, but like, I would never want to be a human. I'm so much happier. I'm more fulfilled. So yes, they are receiving benefits from us, but the benefits are more like the gift and the joy that they get from being of service. The gift and the joy that they get from sharing love. The gift and the joy that they get from becoming more loving. I do think they have energetic resonances, traumas and dramas that their cellular memory remembers from parallel realities, past lifetimes. And that cellular memory that's stored in their cells from other traumas and dramas that they may have had in other lifetimes, they're working through it with us too. So if an animal was, brutally attacked, or maybe he was killed in a food farm, for example, he might in this lifetime be working through that with someone who also had a brutal attack. That kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is vibrational match. Let me take a step back here and just talk about vibrational match. When we're talking about vibrational energy, the empath is always aware of vibrational energy. So on a certain level, right, let's say you walk into the most wonderful meditation center, and there's candles and there's beautiful music, and your body immediately is like, oh yeah, this feels good in here, right? That's a vibration, right? Peace, calm, relax. Now you could walk into your most favorite dance hall. It doesn't even have to be a bar or anything, and there's great fast beat music, and people are enjoying their, could be Burning Man, right? Anyone been to Burning Man? Or, some kind of Lollapalooza, or world, some kind of world music that you love, and the energy is joy and upbeat. That's another energy, right? Happy, joyful, celebratory, whatever, right? You feel that, right? You can even feel that. You see it in my body language, right? That's vibration. Now we could go to like a doctor's office, where everybody's kind of sick, and everybody's like, oh, you know, and you feel it. You walk in there, you're like, oh gosh, yeah. Or you could go into gone into anywhere, like a government building, jails, anything like that, legal offices. Ooh, that doesn't feel too good to me. That's like, ooh, yeah. You know, that kind of energy? That's all vibration. That's energetic, right? So an animal's always feeling that. Emotions are vibrations. So let's talk, this is really important. On the high end, okay, we live in a world where we have universal laws, by the way. One of the laws of our universe is a universal polarity, law of polarity, extremes, right? So in this realm of polarity, which we're transcending that for the purpose of this conversation, we know the highest, lightest, purest, most joyful emotions, those are energy frequencies, vibrations, happy, joy, love, peace. They feel good, right? And when you're aligned with these vibrations, you're walking around feeling happy and joyful, and you're smiling, and you're meeting other people who are smiling, and you're like, I love you, and isn't this great, right? This is what's going on, and we go to places that we like. We do that for our entertainment. Whatever it is that makes us happy, you could be snorkeling, whatever you're doing, you're walking on the beach with your dog, whatever it is you're doing that makes you happy, this is what happens here. Then on the other extreme polarity, we have the heavy energies. What are those? Fear. I mean, you know, the heaviest vibration practically that exists is fear. It's all down here, and just to say fear just feels so heavy, right? And we can associate other vibrations with this too. Anger, resentment, judgment, depression, guilt, shame, blame. They're all down here. So when we're talking about vibrations, this is so important. And animals, as the ultimate empaths, they're feeling the emotions that we're carrying. Does this make sense? Yes. They feel our joy, our love, our peace, and they feel and sense our anger and our resentment. And they're helping us as healers, because not only, we're talking now, I'm going just specifically to pets, not only are they companions, but they're also the ultimate healers. The whales and dolphins, for example, the healers of the waters. We have healers of the earth, like elephants, and all the animals of the wild animals of the earth take healing, do healing for the earth. That's part of their roles. But animal companions are healers to humans. That's part of their role. So they take on these dense, heavy energies empathically. They sense them, they help process them, they mirror them for the human so the human can understand, heal, and resolve them. They work through them through sacred contract, and then if they need to, they transition when they're done and complete with that particular healing journey, part of their journey. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does this make some sense to you?
Yeah.
So the goal for animals, this is the big piece, what they want, and then I'll get your hand. What they want is for us to be in joy and love. And what they say over and over again, and I've been communicating with animals, I'm going to tell you some of my experiences communicating with them. But what they want for the humans is that we live in our joy. And what they say is, I want you to live in joy so much, I'll take on whatever I can for you so that you can be lighter. And hopefully in your awareness that I'm taking it on, you'll change your vibration and raise your vibration so we can both live happy and healthy lives. Make sense? That's part of the mission, the true divine mission of animals, right? Okay. Oh, well, I had a question over here first. I'm going to come to you. I'm sorry.
Are the animals able to, like, say a dog, transmute what the person's going through? Because most dogs seem to get tumors and cancer.
Well, they do. They're attempting to transmute it. And this is up to the human to somehow become conscious enough at some point to say, oh, this animal's taken on this disease for me, and I'm the one who has to change the energy, because they're just really a neutral. Who understands this concept of sacred neutral? I'm going to tell you about the sacred neutral, how important it is. And I teach this in my classes. What our job is to try to start to come into a neutral, right? Over here in this dense, heavy reality that humans live in right now, we're filled of judgment. Right and wrong, good and bad, yet that's not okay, that is okay. I approve, I disapprove. I need someone's approval, I want someone's approval, I don't approve of myself, I do approve, all that stuff. It's all heavy. It's all right and wrong. It's not neutral. So in order to come to these higher frequencies, we have to somehow find our neutral. And healthy bodies, we know, for example, in the physical form, pH balance, neutral, is healthy, right? Part of eating greens and eating healthy is to bring the body into neutrality. That's only the physical part of us. Our emotions, our thoughts, and our beliefs, both conscious and unconscious, have to come into this neutral. We need to do that for our health, and so we can move to these higher frequencies and spend more time up there. Otherwise, these lower frequencies, lower vibrations, will constantly pull us back down. So the idea is to transmute these and come into this neutral place where we're at acceptance and forgiveness, acceptance of everything and everyone, and the recognition that this is all choice. And that from this neutral place, actually, we're no longer being sucked down in there. We get to be of better service. We can actually make the world better because now we're neutral. We're not carrying this heavy, dense charge, so we can actively engage in creating more of this. Right? That's part of the mission of animals and helping to transmute it. Make sense? Okay, but coming into sacred neutral, and there's a lot more than that. Energetically, we call that a 0 point. It's where we're not in judgment anymore. And in this sacred neutral, it's not that we agree or approve of things in that are, we're not agreeing with terrible things happening to animals. We're just no longer in judgment of it. We understand there's a role that's helping people to become more compassionate, etc. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm already at 1:30. Oh my God. Goes so fast. All right, what's your question?
Okay. Do you have a technique? For example, yesterday the bird came in. If I want to...
I could have helped that bird out, but I
Right.
was on stage, right?
Right. What do you do? It like a technique? Do you do a bandha and a breath, and then pick? What I learned is that you can send a video of what you want the animal to do, and then breathe it to the animal.
Yeah.
as
You're
a
basically
request.
asking how does animal communication and telepathy
and
work?
how do you open up to receive what
Yeah.
they want to say?
Yeah.
So the question has two parts.
Yeah, I get it. Well, first of all, what you're asking is that's animal communication. All right, it's a two-day class, so I can't squish it into 2 minutes. But animals communicate through a number of ways. And you're knowing some of the ways.
Yeah.
They do send visual images because they're seeing things and they know how to project that. And most of my presentations, what I usually do is I teach people the science of how animal communication and telepathy works. I have tons of that stuff on YouTube. Go to my YouTube channel and you can watch them for free by just going to YouTube and searching my name, Lori Spagna. And I explain it in more detail. But there's also a whole series in there on animals in the afterlife too, which really helps us to understand what happens after they cross over. I have CDs here for that too, animals in the afterlife. But in any case, they communicate. It doesn't matter if they've crossed over, the soul never dies. The spirit and the soul that embodies the physical form in this physical realm, this physical dimension, which we call the third dimension, by the way, never dies. Even when we leave the body, we only leave the physical dimension. So we escalate through other dimensions of reality, we can still connect. So how do they connect? They have images, and they can send images, and they're using the pineal gland and the pituitary gland. What do spiritualists call that? Third eye.
Yeah.
Okay, those are master glands that allow you to use your brain to project images and sounds and many other things, lights, all kinds of stuff, awarenesses. So anyway, we can send and receive images. We can send and receive sounds. We're always using these master glands in the center of their brain to do that. We can also connect through a theta brainwave, which when I teach animal communication and telepathy, I'm teaching people what I call my unique technique is a theta technique, where I teach people how to access that theta brainwave. It is a brainwave that anyone can access, and that when you learn to access it, you can get incredible information on that frequency. Because every psychic who's authentic is using these gifts. They're using a pineal gland and a pituitary gland, and they're using a theta brainwave. So those are some of the ways.